So yeah, it's currently 2:37 a.m. So excuse me if if my energy's a bit down. Yeah, and I have an exam on Monday, and it's currently 2:37 on a Sunday. So oh yeah, my exam's tomorrow. Okay, yeah, I just had to get this video out. So Michael is the newest musical biopic, and this, of course, the story of the biggest and greatest musical artist of all time, Michael Jackson. I grew up with Michael Jackson's music. That shit was playing a lot in my household, and he, in my opinion, truly is the greatest of all time. He is one of, if not the most influential musical artist of all time. There's just no, there's like you can argue with it, but at the same time, you gotta respect that statement. You just have to. He's fucking generational. I'm 20 years old, and I'm a huge fan, and I can guarantee that my kids will know of Michael Jackson. I'm gonna make sure they grew up with his songs like I did. So yeah, I think it's fair to say that I was pretty excited for this movie. I was excited to hear his music, his songs blasting in the speakers of the theater. I was excited to very much be in a Michael Jackson concert, but in a theater. Since I'm 20, I was born too late for Michael Jackson. But yeah, and I think that's where the movie succeeds the most for sure. The musical sequences are amazing, mainly because the music's amazing, but I think Antoine Fuqua definitely did add something to the table. He directed the hell out of those musical sequences, the shots, the editing, just constantly full of energy, and I found myself very much singing and dancing along in my seat a lot. And I think I can say the same for most of the people in my theater, for sure. And I think the biggest positive I got from this movie is absolutely Jafar Jackson. He is fantastic. He absolutely embodied his uncle. It's insane. I thought I think he was possessed by his uncle. Like genuinely, I think he was possessed by Michael Jackson himself. It's insane from the movements to the voice. There were certain shots and angles and moments where I genuinely thought I was looking and listening to Michael Jackson. I thought I was looking at Michael Jackson himself. It was insane. He got the fucking voice down too. Like I thought that was Jafar Jackson's actual voice. I thought that because of genes he actually inherited that very high pitched voice of Michael Jackson because he's his nephew. So I thought that was his actual voice. And then like after the movie I watched an interview and lo and behold it's not his voice. I was shocked. His voice is much deeper in real life. I was genuinely caught off guard, but yeah, he absolutely committed to the role. You can absolutely tell he rigorously practiced the choreography because holy shit, he got everything down, especially at at the end, like the certain scene at the end. Holy shit, like just everything, the whole movie. Holy shit, got all the dance moves down to a fucking T. It was insane. I also want to give a shout out to Giuliano Valdi, who plays young Michael Jackson. He was also incredible. What a child performance! I was very, very impressed with his uh, on-screen presence and just overall performance. He did absolutely amazing too. Coleman Domingo was also great as Joe Jackson. Loved hating him. Movies filled with great performances. Like I said, those three very like spectacular work. But I do think those performances were wasted on a very generic biopic. Sadly, yeah, like I was still entertained by this movie for sure. But like I said, the musical sequences are great, the performances are great, but that's kind of all the movie has to offer. This shouldn't really be titled Michael. It should just pretty much be called Michael's Greatest Hits, because that's what this movie is essentially. Like it is a very standard and by the numbers biopic, but even safer and even more basic, which is everything Michael Jackson wasn't. Like if you thought Bohemian Rhapsody was safe, ooh boy, get ready for this one. Get ready for this one. Like that's the thing. The musical biopic genre for me is a very mixed bag because on one hand I do enjoy listening to the music in theaters. I do enjoy the drama that comes with the added drama that they put into the movie, like changing things, sure, just to really give it a dramatic effect. I do enjoy that, But on the other hand, a lot of them feel very heavy-handed, and it's pretty much like looking at these artists' lives through a keyhole. But in the case of this Michael movie, it's a pretty damn small keyhole. Don't get me wrong, I love Bohemian Rhapsody. It's a bias of mine. I don't really care. I love that movie. Like I watched it in theaters and I had an amazing time. But yeah, I think my favorite musical biopic has to be Rocket Man about Elton John, because that's a biopic that very much takes the formula and just flips it on its head by giving us something very unique. With Michael though, like I said, very it's 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 a by the numbers biopic. It's super formulaic. It's very formulaic. Formulaic. I'm sorry. It's fucking really late or early in the morning, however you want to say it. But yeah, very formulaic. But even then, like the writing just felt very contrived and shallow and failed to really provide us any deep insights into Michael Jackson's life, into the King's life. There were genuinely times where I felt like I was watching a TV movie. I'm not kidding. The writing genuinely was catching me off guard at times. It felt like a TV movie. It actually did. Um, Also, like I said, this is a movie about probably the most influential artist of all time, the biggest artist of all time. But it didn't feel like I was watching that kind of movie. Like, for me, I thoroughly believe in the phrase show, don't tell. I think that is one of the most important rules in film. This movie wasn't doing that a lot. Like, okay, you had characters constantly saying, oh, you have the highest selling single of all time, highest selling album, great music videos, you're super influential. But it kept on saying that it wasn't showing a lot of that. Like, sure, from time to time they were showing, Michael selling out stadiums and yada yada yada. But the movie as a whole just felt very inorganic. Yeah, it didn't feel authentic. It didn't feel like I was watching the King's biopic. You know what I mean? I will say this though. I did like that they decided to make this movie about Michael and his relationship with his father and how much he wanted to get away from his father. I really did like that. I thought that was a good angle to play this to play from, considering there were a lot of things they didn't want to tackle. It definitely gave the movie some fuel. It definitely gave the plot some fuel to actually move forward instead of just giving us an amalgamation of Michael Jackson's music. Because truly, outside of the Joe Jackson, Michael Jackson stuff, the father son relationship thing in this movie, it's very much just a compilation of Michael Jackson's greatest hits. And I feel like for a lot of people, that's gonna be good. That's gonna be enough for them, and that's fine. Because yeah, considering this a movie about the greatest entertainer of our time, I was pretty entertained. I was pretty entertained by the music. I was pretty entertained by the musical sequences, by the concert sequences. I was. And that's gonna be enough for a lot of people, and I'm happy for them. I really am. It seems like it seems like that is the case. I feel like that is what's happening right now, considering the really huge divide between critics and audience members on this movie. Yeah, pretty huge divide. But for me, it's just I wanted more. It For a movie about Michael Jackson, it felt very soulless. This movie felt very dull, and that's a shame. That's a shame. Yeah, I do like that we're getting a sequel. An idea of two movies for to tell a story. For a biopic. I do like that. Because Michael Jackson's story is huge. It's big. So I am glad that we're gonna get another one. So yeah. Overall, if you're going in for the music, you're gonna get that. But for me, I just wanted more. I'm gonna give Michael a C. Oh yeah, I also I really do want to talk about the critics audience thing. The divide between the critics and the audience on the Michael movie. I really do want to talk about it. Like a lot of the audience members are bashing critics for giving negative opinions on this movie, and it's really annoying me. The phrase "it was made for the fans" is I've always found that to be bullshit. That for me is such a bullshit defense. It's it that that's a bullshit defense for a movie. Guys, at the end of the day, These are professional critics. You know, they have a job. It is their job to critique a movie. It's their job. Like everyone's entitled to their opinion. I feel like I'm like to the if there are gonna be people saying why are you defending critics, I'm not exactly defending critics. I'm defending the idea of having an opinion. Because a lot of audience members are like, oh, critics don't get it. This was made for the fans. Oh, fuck the critics. The critics can suck my dick. It's so bullshit, guys. People, they're acting like this is the greatest movie ever. It's not. This is a pretty flawed movie. And people need to accept that. If you love the movie, good for you. But to bash the critics for doing their job, really? I've seen this a lot too. Like this, what was the last movie? This, like the Mario movies. Yeah, critics have been bashing those, but audience members, yeah. The Five Nights at Freddy's movies. I also was not a big fan of those movies, but audience members loved those movies, and they kept bashing critics for that. And they kept bashing critics for not liking those movies. It happens with a lot of these films, right? A lot of these films that are based on something else that have a huge fan base, and it's really starting to annoy me. Like me personally, yeah. Are there movies that critics hate that I love? Absolutely. I can name you some. King Arthur: Legend of the Sword. Critics lambast the fuck out of that movie, but I love it. I genuinely think it's a good movie. But it's not like I'm constantly out here saying fuck the critics because it's their job. It's their job to fucking critique a movie. They're professionals. It's their job, and everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Stop like bashing people for having their own opinions. Like it's come to a point that if anyone were to say anything bad about this movie, they're suddenly a bad person. This has happened a lot before. This happened with Black Panther too. I remember. But I love Black Panther though. But yeah, it's such a toxic. I think social media definitely has a big part to play in it where because of social media, a lot of people think they're experts at certain things when in reality you're really not. Just leave it. I'm not an expert on this, but I just really want to speak about it because everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and I feel like people need to respect opinions. So yeah, this has been your boy Dane. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much for watching this review, and like, subscribe, and continue to follow us. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.